Hey Pete, what's up, buddy? Doing all right, man? It's good having you. Can you hear me okay? Struggling. Ooh. So what's up? Oops. There we go. That should be a little bit better. That should be a little bit better. Good, you can hear. Good, good, good. Good! Let me just plug my iPad in really quick because this thing's about to die and I need it for the chat. At least up close. Swing behind here. Hook it right there because that's not going to fall, is it? Yeah! Let's loop it. And there we go. Son of a bit. So over here, here. It's on manual. So what are you struggling with, man? Talk to me. Assuming something in art. Invite me to the Discord, too much to type. Okay, give me a second. Let me set that up. Too much to type, too much to type. There we go. Headset. So if I plug that in, how do I do it? Okay, got this. All right, camera's gonna go dark for a split second, but I'll get you on. And give me a second to just double check the settings, okay? Put this down for you guys. That one. All right, it's gonna go dark just for a second, but it'll be right back. That should do it. Bring it right back up. Okay, good. We're back. Let me, what? We're in North Carolina, which means I'm going to duct tape this so it doesn't fall. Yeah. Let's duct tape it. Where did we duct tape this? I don't want to do it on my computer. Let's do it right here. That should stay just for the stream. Give me a sec, I'll hop in Discord. Oh, that's not annoying, is it? Okay, down, okay, that's working. We got the music and microphone headset. Speakers, headset. I do want that one, I think, and then I want. Wait a second. I don't need my speakers on the headset. I do want this so they can hear you. Discord. Hey Randall, how's it going, man? Randall fans. Down just a little bit. Yeah, that works. Cool. All right. There's Pete. Swim down in here. Pete, what's up?
Oh man, I tell you what.
What happened?
Well, no, I hold on.
Let me make sure they can hear you. Give me a sec, because I had to switch some settings.
No worries.
Audio output capture. All right, say something.
Hello?
Okay, they're not hearing you for some reason. Give me a sec. Okay, just hold on. The stream's gonna go dark just for a second. It's gonna be right back. Hey, Laura, the stream's coming right back. Y'all won't get kicked out. Just give me a sec. You'll still be able to hear me though. I might not be able to get you on. Something weird's going on. Just give me a sec here. I'll try to figure it out now.
Okay.
I'll try to figure this out.
Testes, testes, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it's not working. All right, try it again.
Hello?
Okay.
Welcome to Louis Cadetti on KRW12.
Wait, say something again?
Hi, sports fans.
That's it,
Art
okay.
fans.
Good, okay, so audio output capture, for some reason it's going through there. Okay, y'all can hear Pete, right? In chat?
Here in chat.
It's working, good, okay, cool. All right, so what's up, Pete?
So I took a commission, and now it's coming back to haunt me in a bad way.
Uh-huh.
Because it's like a horrible photo.
Oh, really?
And I'm trying to approach it. What's the best way I can explain it?
Give me some details here.
What's the word I'm looking for? Totally. Because it's so washed out. It's just
Trump all day. Yeah.
It's horrible. And
Right.
so I'm kicking myself in the butt. Meanwhile, the customer's like, how's it going? Can you send a picture of what you're doing? And I'm like, oh crap.
So it's off a picture, it's not a good picture. And
No, it's a horrible photo.
Right.
And so I'm trying to utilize all of my knowledge.
Yes.
Which is, I consider
Substantial.
myself a guy.
Yeah.
And it's just kicking my ass.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why did I set myself up for this? You know?
Exactly.
But at the same time, it's like, well, if I had a choice, I wouldn't take these kinds of gigs.
Mm-hmm.
But, since trying to make money, being an artist, and this is the bread and butter that I've chosen to put on the butter. I don't know.
Is there anything you can do to enhance the photograph? Like, how is it?
I've done sorts of things to it.
Yeah.
At one point, I fed it to the dogs. No, it took me forever to get shadow shapes down because it was washed.
Do you want to post a picture in Discord so I know what you're talking about?
Yeah. But now I'm just building up a bunch of stuff. Hold on.
Oh, yeah?
Where's my phone? There it is. Give me a minute, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I love your live thing. Just like you laying on the floor.
Yeah.
Ooh. You know what? I know this is going to be the end-all be-all where it's like, this doesn't look right at all.
This is going to be a little tricky because I don't have as good of a reference photo for it, but I'll figure this out.
No, I'll send you the reference. It's a piece of shit.
Yeah, I'm talking about mine right now. Mine's a little bit screwed up. Come on. Do this and then back up. Switch it. Come on. There you go. That's
I know I have half a mind to fucking trace this thing. That's what I should have done, is put my work side by side next to the reference on the computer screen. Oh, it's so bad. I'm struggling.
What can I do to help you think?
Dude, I don't even know at this point.
Sometimes you got to get it done, right?
Yeah.
Does this guy have very high standards in his work?
Well, this is the first time customer.
A first-time customer. So, do you know what does he want?
They were recommended by a friend of mine.
And what type of work did that friend get from you? Or rather, he knows your work and he promised them what?
Well, they saw my work and they're like, heck yeah, let's do it,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And I kind of hemmed and hawed with it, and then a bunch of shit came up, you know, medically. And
What did you tell the guy? Did you say, look, I mean, this is off a photograph and the photograph's not great, so I might have some issues?
I'll try and work with it the best that I can, you know?
Did
It's a woman.
Did you give him any disclaimer, or her?
No.
Well, okay, so here's what I would do, but you can't do this now.
No, I know that.
So this is exactly how I would handle it. Say, look, what type of work do you want? Like, what type of painters do you like? And if they don't know, just get them some examples, get an idea. And so if it's like Rembrandt-esque or something, right? Just understand that that's what they want and say, look, you're asking me to go off a photograph, and let me just break it down technically so you understand, because this is important, this is relevant to the commission. If I'm going to do a work like this, I need solid information off a better photograph of it. Now, is this like a person that you're doing, or is
It's
Shucks.
It's a grandmother and her and their grandson.
Is grandmother still alive?
Yes.
She is. And how long have you been working on the commission for?
Too long.
What's too long?
Several months, because some things came up where I got sick. Jenny had an exacerbation.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Before I had reached out to you.
Yeah.
Or before I had met you, actually. So let's see what we can do.
Hey guys in chat. Sorry, I'll catch up with you guys in 1 second. We'll catch up here. Because what I was going to say is, you need to tell them, you need to level with the people beforehand, because there's the desire to deliver, but you also have to be honest, and you have to be truthful with yourself. Either you can or can't do it. And I tell them, I said, look, I can't do what you want me to do off this. If you want me to do something, I'm going to need this from you. Or I can take the picture myself. And if you can do that, you arrange the time to do it, right? At this point, so did you send the picture yet to me?
I'm sending it up on the
I'll just drag it and drop it into the general text chat under the Discord.
Yeah.
There it is.
And then
okay.
Hold on, and then I'm going to upload the actual
picture.
Yeah, it's on my desktop.
Do you want me to show everybody what we're working with here?
I don't give a shit. I'll send you the color version.
Okay.
And then I'll send the I grade it down.
Gotcha. All right. So Randall Quilter, let me catch up on chat really quick. So give me a second, Pete.
Okay.
Yeah, Queldar's offering to Photoshop it for you. Click because of the thumbnail. Oh, thank you. That's awesome. That's actually cool. I was telling a friend last night, you'd think I'd be good at thumbnails, and that's like one of the things I really need to work on. It's nothing like yours. Overthrow. Something like that is fine.
I did adjust some of the value in the black and white.
Have Queldar, that's actually not a bad photograph, Pete. The only problem is that there's perspective warp. You don't want to take a photograph like this for future reference because it can look like the person, but when you're working on it, you're going to find it looks very weird. The black and white is probably what you want to go off of. Is it just a drawing?
Yeah.
You can do this. Dude, just buckle down and do it. But have Queldar touch it up for you. Maybe soften the shadows, the light. It's actually, dude, you can do this. Get it out of your head that you can't. That's all I'm going to say. Just get it done. Just get it done. You got this. He probably doesn't even need to
do it.
He doesn't need to touch it up. Here, I'm going to post this really. You want me
I'm probably just tripping about several things, and I think most of it is just I'm stressing because, you know, like I want to get this done. I want to get this to them, but at the same time, I'm, you know, slumping along here.
Mm-hmm.
But
actually, I'm going to do this. I'm just going to bring the camera down, show them what we're working with here. So I'll, instead of posting it, because this is going to take too long, let me do this, guys, really quick. Enlarge this just a little. Bring it over here. And this is what we're working with. Give me a second. I'll show you. So Pete is really, honestly, this isn't that bad. So this, whoop. So this is what he's working with here. Let me actually blow this up some. Oh, way better. Okay. All right. So those are the pictures, and that bottom one's black and white, obviously. That means, for those of you who don't know, that there's no color in it. It's just light and dark values with some midtones. That's what that means, gray. All right, so he's having a hard time with this, but I'm telling you right now, like, I don't know if y'all can really see this photograph. It's looking crisper than it actually is on this camera. All right, so he has a good reference frame, but what I don't like about it is that she's obviously, it's a selfie, it's holding it up, and so what you're gonna have is a little bit of lens warp to it because it's too close. You wanna always take pictures at least 6 feet back, especially for portraits, 6 feet back, and you're not gonna have that lens warp, all right? And now that's gonna be difficult because if you're on a camera like an iPhone, you're going to lose a little bit of resolution. That's why you don't take it with an iPhone. Even though iPhones have great picture quality for casual pictures, you want to take it with a decent camera 6 feet away so there's no perspective warp. And ideally, better lighting, because as you can tell on the top, actually this is, at least in my camera, it's coming out a little bit better than it looks washed out on the actual screen here. And it's a beautiful picture. She's a very beautiful woman, and it's a nice picture. But I would go off the black and white, and this is what Pete has so far. And honestly, Pete, I think you're being too technical with it, and I can't believe I'm saying that. I think you need to loosen up, go back to the basics, get the basic shape, work on this consistently. You've been working on other projects. You should be prioritizing this. All right?
yeah,
And I'm taking my own advice because I was doing the same thing, okay?
yeah,
I have to tell myself the same thing, so it's not a Pete problem. But dude, that's good. I just say, this, you need to simplify it. I like your start for it. Simplify it. It needs to become more organic, and you need to start breaking it down and just get it going. You need to get your heart into it. And that's another thing I would say. What's happening is, you're freezing up because you have a mentality with it. You need to change your mentality with it and trick yourself into getting into this saying, oh, this is something I love and I can do it and this is perfect. Even if you don't believe it, say it and just do it. And I guarantee you it's going to change how you work because that's what you need to do. All right?
Here's my thing. I actually am enjoying, when I started it, I was.
Excellent.
But
there you go.
It's now where it is, and I'm like, what the is going on?
Think how you're going to feel if you get it done, though. Say, okay, by the end of the day, I want to have this done, and then I'll feel, by 7 o'clock tonight, I'm going to feel amazing because I did that. That's what you got to do. You got to get yourself in the rhythm because you lost the rhythm.
I did.
These are the things that I do. I go through the same stuff, and it's just classical painting, drawing. So it's just how it is. It's just stuff that we have to deal with.
Yeah, I don't know, but you see, like I think you're right though. What you're saying is that I just went way too technical with it, and here's the thing. The other day I was doing a cast,
Yes.
just a block in, and I got so into it, I totally lost track of time. I so lost track of time that I lost track of time that I didn't pick my son up from school. And I don't even know if it's good. All I know is that I was like enjoying it so much. And it's been a long time since I've had that feeling with.
Dude, that's really cool.
Particular things. So it's like my favorite feeling in the world.
Yeah.
You know, and it comes and goes, but it was just it was something else. And it's just one of those things where I don't know.
Hey Harry.
You know the feeling. I know you know the feeling.
Yeah.
You know, things are coming together and everything. It's just jiving. Like
I know exactly what you're going through.
You're totally in the zone, you know?
You want to get this thing done, and it's troubling you. It's been in the back of your mind for a long time. It's been nagging at you, and you've been putting it off, and these technical issues are starting to get to you because you're used to going off of real life stuff, and this photo is subpar for that, but I'm telling you it is doable. Just next time do it differently, but you can still get done what you need to get done. That's the photograph you gave them, or they gave you. Treat it like a bar drawing. You can do that. I was thinking you had something that's like very fuzzy, you can't tell what things are, and they want you to change it or morph it. That's something you can copy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do site size, but yes, I would do it. And that's how I'm kind of approaching it, or trying at least.
Pete, also these creases right here, always play these down. That's one thing, like even in younger people play them down.
Which ones I can't see?
You know, like right here, these. Here, you'll see it in the camera. It's just there's a delay for us because we're a little bit ahead.
Yeah, no,
just watch. Yeah, the creases that go from the nose around the mouth down, 2 of them. Those always play those down, like almost wash them out. It's kind of what you got to do. It's one thing, and that is something that I was told to do in school. It's not
even
something.
When it's an older woman?
Huh?
Even when that's an older woman?
Play it down just a little bit. Older women like looking younger.
Yeah.
They like looking younger, but also, besides that, it always makes the portrait look weird. It just does. It just doesn't look right.
I'm trying to figure out.
You'll get the balance. You'll get the balance. But I think at this point, you need to just look. The cast work, is that something you're doing for a project or school, or are you doing it just for yourself?
It was my warm-up, but my warm-up turned into just drawing, you know, like.
You just need to work on your discipline. Then you need to get that done. I understand that, but you need to get that thing done because they've been waiting for a long time, and you can do it. You have the ability to do it. Like what you can do exactly what they want. You just need to buckle up down and get your mind right with it. That's on you. But the reason why this is valuable, see, right now you're learning everything technical, but and I'm sure you're like this in your own work. Like you have a responsibility to get stuff done and to deliver. That also is a skill that prioritizing commissions and working on them even when you don't feel, oh, technically this isn't going to benefit me, or I'm studying and it's not going to do what I want. You need to get past that. It's a disciplinary issue, right? And I know you can do it.
Right.
This is stuff you know, you just need to hear. You just need to hear. That's all.
Yeah.
All of us go through it. Yeah, all of us go through it.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man. You got it.
I'm not losing. I'm looking at it side by side. It doesn't look as horrible as I think it does. I mean, there are things that are off that are totally fixable.
For you, look, for you, you can do better than that. You can definitely do better than that. You can definitely fix it. It is not bad, but it looks like your heart's not in it. If your heart's not in it, it's going to show all over the work. You need to get your heart into it. And to do that, don't warm up. Just go straight into that, Pete. Just go straight into it. Yeah. Screw the warm-ups. Just go straight into it. Don't waste your time right now. Like, you got this. Like, that's my best advice for you. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lewis.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're good. You know what you need to do. And you're going to be very good, but, you know, disciplining yourself in work and doing things you don't want to do is very important. You need to do that. And because you're also, and again, this is stuff I think you already know. You've been doing it long enough. Like, these are skills, like being able to trick your mind into liking stuff that you don't really like to do. That is so big. That opens up all your work possibilities. It really does. You know, I don't know what's going on here because I don't know where the reference photo for that is. Let me check.
Reference photo for.
Hey, Pete, could you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Since I'm painting and you're in here, could you keep me up to date on the chat? Just read it out. Yeah, just read it out for me, and because I want to be able to speak with you, but speak with them and know what they're saying and listen to them at the same time.
Okay.
And
oh my
paint.
gosh.
So you could help me. You read that chat out to me, and I would be most gracious.
Oh boy. Oh, we got a lot of way to go.
Just
okay.
skim through it. Read it. Just read. Never learned to read.
Oh,
It's like Will Ferrell.
Randall's watching
Will
because I call them Randall fans.
Yeah.
Laura says, "Hey, Louis P. Randall. Noises in the house." Laura says, "We can hear him." And then Randall, the circle of death. And then Queldar said hi. And everybody's confirming that that they can hear.
Boss.
And Laura says, the clothing looks really good, Louis.
Thank you.
And Queldar's like, send me the photo and I'll Photoshop it.
Yeah.
Yes, we do that.
I would still have him do that even if you're not going to use it because he might do something that you really, really, really like. And Queldar's, I hate to admit it, he's kind of capable. And he has exhibited some degree of intellect. Huh?
Vote of confidence right there, Queldar.
I'm going to move that camera over, I think. So.
Challenge, Clara. Do we want to go through all this or just stuff that's addressed to you?
I don't know. Just whatever's relevant. I've been reading some.
Queldar says, I started drawing and the drawing just took over. It's completely out of my control now.
Is it?
The composition sucks, but the quality is okay.
Right here, okay. I'm good here. Let me try to face this actually a little bit.
Harry says, hey, yo.
Hey, yo, Harry. Harry says, hey, yo. We have funny people. We were like, hey, yo. Harry.
Get a shot with the mouth closed. That will remove the snapshot quality. I wish I could, Randall.
It's too late for that. You got to do it.
Yeah.
It's been
The
months.
lighting under her chin in the photo is really strange. I consider it following that according to the photo.
All right, so for the future, here's what I would do again. Let's reiterate. Say, look, what do you want in your work? Like, you want a good picture. You kind of get the idea. They don't know what they want always. You just talk to them, see what they want. And then you say, all right, you want a picture of the baby and the grandmother? Why don't I come over with my camera and take a nice, decent shot for you? You got to learn how to take pictures. That's what you need to do. Say, look, I'll take care of this, and we'll approve it, and we'll make sure it's what you want, because, pictures don't always do these everybody justice. You know, they say, oh, well, we like this picture. Okay, fine. Well, we'll go through and get something that works technically, because I know what you want, but this picture is not going to give it to you. Trust me, there's a different feel in pictures and paintings, and you don't want a painting of a photograph. That's not what you want, and I can tell. You bring that like, you say it to them like that, and they're going to understand. They'll say, this guy knows what he's talking about, and he's going to up the level of what I want, and that's exactly why I went to him. So that's how you handle that next time. I've been there. I know this stuff. And
Okay.
it can be tricky.
I would combine photos that
Oh. Did the camera just freeze again? Yes, it did.
Image is inherently different. You don't want to make something that is further away, but next to detail. And that's Quillar's 2 cents. And then Laura's like, so true, Lewis. Tricking your mind to like things you don't like. Learning how to mind control yourself. And then you've been upgraded to boss mode by Laura.
Boss mode. There you go. Boss mode.
Not boss hog. Oh wait, that's Roscoe.
Boss hog. All right.
That's Lewis.
So when I'm working on this right here, I'm pointing this way to reference the other side. It's important to see the entire shape, obviously, because what if I was to paint values that are relevant within this area right here, but then I look at the whole painting and it doesn't work with what I have where I had just painted. So we need to take that into account as well. Say what?
Claire says one of the cameras stopped working, but I can see the 3 cameras. So.
I got it back up. I noticed that myself. Yeah. I kind of have come to expect this now. I wish that I could diagnose the issue and solve it, but I don't know what the problem is. I think I'll just have to. I probably just have to get a webcam, which would be a good investment. It's just a little annoying. That's all. You know, it's like because the camera works. It's a good camera, and the app is supposed to work. But you know what? If it's supposed to, it doesn't. It's the equivalent of it not working. So it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant if it's supposed to work. Or one of the cameras does she want the couch in the picture? It's weird like that. I'm doing some perspective warp to fix the distortion. Excellent. So Queldar's already on it. See?
Wow, thank you, Queldar.
Queldar, I wouldn't mind. The problem is I can't pay you anything. This is the thing. I don't like having people work for me and not pay them. Because Queldar had offered to do some, I guess, light editing or editing on some of my work and help me out with that. He knows some After Effects, and I would love to take him up on that. Because I think Queldar understands what I like. But one day, I will have an editor, and I will pay him. It's just not yet. That's the problem. I do not like having people do work for me if I cannot repay it in some fashion. Kind of made some of this stuff up. I'm not going to put the reference photo that I'm using up here because it's just like all these folds, but I essentially have to change the picture up some anyway. So normally when I start, I work with 2 or 3 value brushes, and then I slowly work my way up to maybe 4 or 5. 6 if it's like really complex, especially if you're working with like a range of colors within that. A field color, if it's like very cool and very warm, sometimes I might add an extra brush. You don't want to overcomplicate things. I still have it written on my hand, but that's as far as I got with writing it. And I haven't had time to sit down and just do it. I'll try to do that today. I'm going to finish the video today, and it's going to be out tomorrow. It will be out tomorrow. It was going to be out today, but I wanted to really make sure it was better. It has this, like Distribution is on the way. Yeah. So, yes, Lewis makes his guests work to pay for their opportunity on the stream. When the camera stopped working, yeah, I saw that. Okay, I read that part. Start a GoFundMe, support Lewis getting a webcam to stop him from complaining about it. I'm not doing GoFundMe. I think that's cheap welfare, and I'm not going to do it. Do it if you send me your plan. Or you see this? Yes, the video. And the video is going to have... No, I'm not going to tell you what it's going to have. It's going to be great. Queldar, don't cry in it, okay? Okay.
I had to have a GoFundMe when I got sick because we couldn't pay the bills.
Well, I mean, that's different. That's health. I'm talking about webcam. I'm not going to do that for webcam. There are things that I can do that I'm not doing, and I'm not going to ask somebody to pay for my my expenses because I don't have my act together with it. And there's certain things that I can do. Like I can use my this is a first world problem. It's not a health issue.
Savings.
Huh? I'm not going into savings. Screw that. I'm not using the life savings for that stuff. Make do without it. There's things that I can... Huh?
I'm joking.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've definitely taken that too serious, I think. All right. Stay on squint. Just a little bit. Again, trying to relate these two together, make sure that they're correct. This needs to unify some. There we go.
Poor Queldar. Queldar's crying right now.
Applicable.
Don't cry.
Queldars don't cry. Big Queldars don't cry. How did Laura... It was Laura, I think it was Laura, said Queldar's the 12-year-old Dutch boy. What was it? What did Laura say?
The one plugging the dam?
I don't remember how she put it. It was hilarious, though. I don't know what I did for this. I don't know where my reference photo is. I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I did for that. What the hell is going on in there? Okay, think. You've done this stuff before. Think.
My son asked me this morning because he was watching something on YouTube. And he laughed. He's all, "That sounds funny, Dad." And I said, "What is it?" He's all, "What does that mean?" I'm like, "I didn't hear it." And then the guy was doing some sort of like song, you know, mocking of some sort of song.
Yeah.
And he said "Hoochie Mama," and he's all, "What's a hoochie mama?" I'm like,
wow.
"Dude, you don't need to say that really." And I try to explain. He's, "Well, I don't want to know. If you tell me I can't say it, then I won't say it."
He's a wise kid. This up, son.
And I'm trying to tell him, this is why you don't want to say it.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, nope. He said, "I'll figure it out." Like, I don't want you to figure it out either.
How old is he?
10.
That's a pretty smart answer for a 10-year-old.
He's very precocious. Like, he's got his mom's family's intelligence thing going on.
Nice, very nice.
Like, gifted and whatever. I was just the dumb kid in special ed. No.
Special ed. Yeah, I wasn't. School didn't fit me.
I wasn't studious at all.
I tried. I've never tried something so hard before in my life at anything, really. And I had such a hard time. Like, I just do not learn in a classroom like I should. I do not.
I'm a visual learner. I mean, visual spatial learner, and that's how my wife has explained it to me. We all are, like everybody in our family, you know.
Yeah.
And she's like, if they can't give that to you, then it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
For
I don't know what's happening.
You to grasp things.
Okay, screw this. I don't recommend what I'm about to do here. I'm just gonna squint down and try to figure this out. I don't recommend what I'm about to do. This is probably gonna screw this up. In fact, this is a good lesson on what not to do. Honestly, I don't have the reference photo for this. Huh. There's a combination. Yeah, whatever. Let's do what we know how to do. This guy come up higher, and this goes down some. Swings in. This is going to. Here's what we're gonna do. Okay.
Yeah.
Screw this.
Clara doesn't see that.
Huh?
GoFundMe. Clara says, I don't know, a GoFundMe for a $20 webcam seems very applicable.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Part of learning is learning how to learn.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And there are things that I learned actually after I was out of school that would have helped me in taking tests because I studied so hard. But what happens is the way that they word questions on tests, I would say, okay, well, you can look. They could be asking for this way or this way or this way, and there would be 3 different ways that they could be asking the same question. And so I would always second, guess myself, and I would convince myself out of the right answer. I would literally overthink everything. And I got I would study so much and I would get all this stuff wrong, and people, obviously that amounts to, oh, you didn't study, and which is bull. It's just, I'm not good at taking tests. And also, I always enjoyed drawing, to pay attention, I had to be doodling, but the teachers would take that as you're not focusing if you're doodling. And so they would make me not doodle, and then when I didn't, my mind would wander, and then they would call me, and I would be like, what? I was like, I couldn't focus. And it was horrible. It was horrible. That's just how it was.
That's how I was.
Yeah.
And even today, I need to, if you really want me to pay attention to something,
yeah,
I need to be drawing or,
right.
And I can talk while I draw. I don't have to call I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I do it all the time. And people get mad at me at the schools because they're like, shut up, dude. And I'm like, sorry. It helps me focus.
Yeah, you gotta focus.
And you guys are gonna look at me funny when I start freaking out because I can't talk.
Yeah, and people just learn different. That's all it is. They're different learners, and I will say, the schools, especially if it's public school, they a lot of those teachers, there are a lot of teachers who care, a lot of them who don't, but they all have to go through a curriculum, and they don't have a lot of flexibility depending on what school they're at, how to learn, and they lump all the students in, teach them the same way. And to me, that's really, really, really dumb. I think that's a bad way of.
Yeah, and that's what my wife does. That's why she's a pretty teacher. She's like,
She
you
kind of
reach
treats them
out.
individually. It's a bad teacher. I learned better from doodling too. That's just a teacher with a sensitive ego because they feel like you aren't giving them all of their attention. Yeah. The camera stopped again. Okay, thanks. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of, but like when you're a kid, you think, I mean, at least I did. I don't know, maybe you guys weren't like this, but you kind of think that every teacher has everything together because it's a grown-up, right? You don't think that they have a sensitive ego or what have you with it.
All my teachers were totally well, I take that back. I remember in like grade school, I had one teacher that was a complete. She was so mean to me.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, like it's because she didn't understand. You know, like I don't know. Like I almost failed out of therapist or someone doing some sort of test.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't know. It's really weird. And they kept going, "Why are you squinting?" I'm like, I don't know. I just squint for a living. Can you see?
Why are you squinting? I just squint for a living. Integrated weight gain.
I do. At 9 years old, I was squinting for a living.
9 years old.
Looking at the world, different lens.
Okay.
So we're just gonna soften everything up.
There we go. All right, sorry about that, y'all. Do our best here, right? Do our best. We will do our best. And make sure that this is still okay there. Yeah, it should be okay, but this is a little bit wide. Bring this in some. There we go. There we go. That should do it. Not the best camera, but you know what? At least it'll work. Art of algebra. I used to play Pokemon in college and got got yelled out by the teacher over that reason quite a bit. Since algebra was a mystic art, I didn't believe in. I would read in class when there was a test. I'd sign it and hand it back in. From the other direction.
Did you say Mother Russia?
Did I say Mother Russia? No.
Mother Russia.
Mother Russia. All right, let's mix a little bit more color here.
The mystic art of algebra. Stream.
There we go. Bit more paint. Horrible. Horrible. But you know what? I have two options. I can get really pissed off at myself for not remembering exactly, because it's been a while since I blocked that in. Or I could man up, do the work it takes to make that look good, because I have something that might actually work. And that's what I'm going to do. I mean, choosing the latter of the two options, that's what I'm going to do with this. Sure if it's going to work or not, but you know what? We'll do our best.
You're the best.
Around. Oh, don't want as much blue.
I do know one thing, though. I
gosh.
had a great session at Light Drawing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm actually really impressed when I came up.
Good, man. That's good to hear. Do it the right way, because that's what you will enjoy the most. Mind control yourself. Mind control. This is true. This is how it works, man. This is how it works. I think I have an idea of what I'm going to do with this. So what I have a photograph, and it's kind of going around the muscle there, so. And I needed to denote kind of like it kind of folding around this area, so I think that's what I'm going to do there, is put a couple of marks in. I can always lighten them up. We have this kind of come up just a little bit here like that. This flows into it some. So it's kind of coming up like that. It's coming down. I just don't know about this. This kind of breaks it up some. Maybe try something. If I cut this in this way, I don't know if that's going to work. That actually might work, because I can still play this off right here. It comes down, soften this to make it look a little bit more real. I don't know about that. We'll see. We'll see. Let me think. We'll kind of work and rework some things. Actually, I like this color. It makes it a little bit better than I had before. It's going to be a little bit light, but that's okay. It's actually it is what I want. All right, for this, let's squint down. Best around. So that's kind of top. All right.
Oh, come on. Where's the drowned girl?
Paint slow. What are you talking about, you psycho? Did they say
The
something?
dead girl on the bar.
Do it the right way, because okay. Yeah, but people. Which camera? See, this is all these cameras. People don't know what you're talking about, Pete. It would be interesting to learn if most visual artists didn't enjoy academics, school, and turned to art as something we were. Wait. It would be interesting to learn if most visual artists didn't enjoy academics, school, and turned to art as something we were good at. Huh. So this isn't going to work. I know that's not going to work. Unless I cross something over this way with it. Maybe, but the only way this would work is if this is coming out more. It drops down. If it came out, the only way this works, if it comes out. See, I'm pushing the paint, guys. This is kind of a good lesson. This is how you work on something that you can really change things. Okay, this, but I have to be you know, mindful of the composition when I do this. I really do, and I can change this back if I want. Down. down, and then it drops. Let's just have it drop through here, perhaps. This might work. This might work. This might not work, but it might. And this part would be up here. Let's just freaking do this here. Slowly darken that. Step back. I have a plan. I have a plan. And then take this value. I'm going to darken it just a little bit here. Add some red because it's getting dulled out. Squint. Go back. I'm working on the drawing, thinking of the form. I'm thinking of the form underneath. Like when you're painting drapery, don't just be like, oh, look at fold. Let's just flow with it. Yay. Don't do that. Like think about what's underneath and know that it denotes the form underneath. That's how you have to think about this. That's how you have to think about drapery. And always be stepping back to make sure that it's a good composition. It does work. That's how we do. All right, that's how we do. And then there's this piece that kind of comes up at a rakish angle. Rakish, right there. And then it kind of pops up. And I'm going to squint. It's kind of thicker here. Go across the form. Paint slightly transparent, so underpainting's shining through. That's okay. I'll go over it with thicker paint later. Perhaps do a second layer next time I paint over it, which I probably will. This is coming there. Step back. Okay. And then come forward again. And this part right here is kind of coming out at such an angle here, like that. It goes down. And then falls back behind this part, which is going to be puffing out this way. So I take like straight paint, more or less. It does have some walnut oil this because I had to make it malleable, but it doesn't matter. It's all good. So this is kind of coming up a little bit here. It kind of drops down there. Okay. Right way. Can you talk a little about comparative measurements? Yes. Hey, Art Bender. Hey, what? Battery's low. Dun, dun, dun,
I'm gonna get off this.
Okay. Pete, thanks, man. 1 second, guys. Taking headphones.
No, thank you.
You can still hear me, though. Bye, Pete. Oh, wait, you can hear me. Sorry, and I probably screwed into the mic just now. Where's my freaking plug? There it is. Got it. Okay, which one should I use? Can I not plug this in? Power source. Initiated. And 1 second, Art Bender. That's an excellent question. Comparative measurements. Comparative measurements. Specifically, what would you like to know about them? Is it something that you're having trouble with? Because I could talk about it, but if there's a specific section of it, I could go in depth with it if you like. So just tell me, like, you know, specifically what you want to hear about it. And if not, if you just want it to be general, you just want me to talk, I'll do that. Just let me know. I don't need the headset anymore. Here we go. I get out of Discord. And then just put this here. I don't think y'all will hear anything from that. We're good, we're good, we're good. All right, let's go. Output, output. Okay, good. We're back. We're back. Okay, good. Pete, you see Queldar is watching after you like our little 12-year-old Dutch guardian angel, and he got your picture for you. Art is just another thing to learn. My theory is whatever we are interested in is the thing that we tend to be better at because we're more likely to mind control ourselves. Blow that, isn't it? Comparative measurements was something you discussed a lot in your figure drawing class, correct? Yes. All right. So we do site size, but you need to learn to incorporate comparative measurements in with your work as well, because that'll make it more holistic. The reason that is because when you do comparative measurements, what does that make you do? You need to open your mind up and your eye to see everything. I got to head out soon. See you guys next time. Queldar, take care, buddy. Take care. All right? Thanks for helping Pete out. So that's something I would always, even when doing like bar drawings, even when doing life drawings that you're using the sight size method with. A lot of people make the mistake of only going sight size with it. And you know what? When you first start, fine, that's okay. When you're first learning something, you need to just focus on that. Learn the sight size method, learn these things. But in the back of your head, always keep in mind that you need to be understanding, literally understanding what you're looking at. You need to know what you're looking at. So, because sight size is great because it's a great way of comparing everything. So in other words, if this is what I'm working on right here, and right next to me, like the board ends here, and there's like in real life, there's drapery, and it's like, okay, yeah, I'm just lining this up, great. But if I move back and forth a little bit, and if I get too mechanical with it, it's gonna show. The other thing is that really, what's more precise than measuring with like a plumb line, measuring with a ruler, is the trained eye. The trained eye and intuition and comparative measurements is so much sharper than actually going through and measuring like this, because you're always going to have a small margin of error. Your eye, you slowly weed that out, okay? So, like always, you want to be, like if you're working sight size, want to be working sight size, but also at the same time, say comparative measurements, and then look and compare, and you have to learn to see the whole shape to draw the smaller pieces. And I guarantee you, if you do that, you're going to understand it better, and more mistakes are going to be popping out. Now, this is hard at first, and you're going to have to train your mind, and it's going to be very tiring. It's kind of like waking up in the morning. You force yourself to do it, and you might not know how to do it, but it's important to always be in pursuit of it. Comparative measurements it's foundational. You need to learn how to do that, and I would be doing it at all times. In sight size, I'm always doing it, okay? And there are times when you cannot use sight size, so you need to learn to do it, for that reason too. Like, and look, even like when you're out sketching something, you're sketching a person off in the distance, you can be still drawing them sight size, but not having your board up like this, and just be drawing them the same size that you think you see it. But again, the more comparative measurements or the better you are at comparative measurements, the easier time you're going to have, the more accurate your work is going to be. And so I mean, comparative measurements. Compare this area to that area, to that area, to that area. That will give you a holistic approach to drawing. And that's what I've always, I echo the same crap all the time. When you're doing the detail, you need to be looking at the whole shape. Why do I say that? Because you need to be comparing the whole shape to the small shapes, right? That's how it works. Otherwise it's going to look piecemeal and broken up. That's what we say, piecemeal, meaning you're just looking at a little piece and you've detailed it, it looks great there, but then it does not relate to anything else. You aren't comparing it to anything. You might be comparing it to like these areas here. Yeah, you need to do that and you need to do this. Like I need to be comparing this to that, and the shapes and the color, right? So to me, it's creating a holistic approach to painting. Does that help, Art Bender? Does that do anything for you? And it's stuff, you know what? There are things, especially, y'all have been here for a while, that I say, and you're like, he's saying it again. Broken record, yeah, because it's very important. There's stuff that, that I'm going to repeat a lot, and that's one of them. That is one of them. Okay, so this is kind of coming up, and then okay, let me do something here. The only way this is going to get tied in, comparative measurements is one of the secrets to art. It really is. I'm not just saying that. This is coming down, so I'm going to drop this and then bring this in like that. So there, let's see if this looks any better. I don't know. It's a good thing to be reminded of, so you can put into practice and know how to better apply it. Exactly. It's like you're going to have less proportional issues if you're able to compare and judge everything. And essentially, if you look at the entire shape, you're going to have less proportional issues. You'll have less proportional issues by seeing that you have proportional issues and ideally going through and fixing it. How you fix it is based off your experience. And you sometimes need teachers to help critique, say this is how you do it, or this is off when you can't see that it's off. It's the pursuit of learning how to fix things, right? Comparative measurements help you to say this is off, this is off. It trains your mind to see that stuff. Then how to fix it, that's a separate thing altogether. Kind of. It's kind of the same. Oftentimes, if you can see something that's off, you can say, okay, well, this is off, meaning, say, the leg's too long. All right, make it shorter. Right? That's how we work. That's how we work. So this is here, and then there's this coming up here. Okay. And then this kind of comes down here. It kind of comes in here. This is working, and then I can tuck that thing that way. That'll actually look better. If I do this, tuck it down that way. Let's fade it just a little bit. I'm not worrying about color as much right now as I am just trying to get the drawing, and I'm more focused on sharps and softs and just basic value than I am the actual color. The camera's still working because it's the integrated camera. It's not my phone, which is weird. And I hear good art advice like this, but have a hard time putting it into action without seeing various examples and remembering it when I'm feeling lazy. Yeah, it's super helpful to get an outside opinion to what's off in your work. Clara, the things you have to work on are things that everybody, when they start, has to work on is widths and lengths. The figure is falling over at some points. And over modeling the shadows and working on your technique. You can work on your technique, and you're going to have, you'll have proportional issues, but you should have less. You should have less. Okay, that. And the reason for that is that you're going to be more precise, and when you're more precise with your technique, when you don't have to fight, when your eye does not have to fight the technique, you're going to be able to better judge some of the angles that you do, some of the line drawing that you do. And you won't know it, but that's going to make it slightly easier for you to get a proportion right here or there, and that's how it improves your work without you even knowing it. It really is. It's quite an amazing thing. See, I like this kind of, but maybe I can still keep that. And then this part, something like that. Wait, if I'm squinting down, then it's darker there. Okay, wait. Let me just, there's kind of, okay, so the deltoid comes here, and it kind of dips in some, and there's that slight shadow, but this is very slight. Bring it in some, and then this part kind of pops out some. That's what we have, but this is an old man, so he's not gonna have like guns on him. But maybe I can still make this work. Maybe I can still make it work. Slightly coming in some, just a little bit. Comes in just a little. All right, how's it look from the back? Over modeled, but that's okay. We need to bring the light value up anyway. I'm keeping it a little bit mid-tone to get the drawing. Step back, okay. This part, that line is not working. I'm gonna bring that down like that. Okay, so I'm having to redraw this because I think what I did, I morphed between two photos, and there was a strategy behind it, but I forgot what I did because it's been a couple weeks. So that's just, you know what? Sometimes you just got to deal with, frankly, poor planning. Frankly, poor planning. But that's okay. All right, and then this part comes up, so maybe that came up. Maybe the other part didn't come down as much. This comes up, and then this kind of comes out that way. It is kind of soft. I'll bring it that way because it looks better going in that direction. Let's bring this up just a slight bit. And then it's like, okay, yeah, this comes up. I think that's better compositionally. Because it's kind of like, the reason why I think it is because, like, if this going down, it can still work. But, like, since the arm is coming, it's like coming out towards us. Like, so this folds here. The arm, when it comes up, this is going to be, like, higher up, this part. So, like, you bring this up, and it's like we're looking more up underneath it. It makes more sense with the position of a foreshortened, I think humerus, right? That part of the arm, and the upper arm. The upper arm. Right, and so I have this, and there was kind of a, wait, okay, so I have this part here, and I've kind of compressed this just a little bit. So we have this coming here, but this is going to stop. And I kind of have this here. Where do I want this to go? Let's see if this works. I don't know if this is going to work. Okay, I'm going to squint down. I'm going to go crosswise just for technical reasons, because it's just absorbing the paint when I go up and down. So let's go across, and then let's blend it in just a little bit. That is very dark, but squinting down, I can kind of get an idea. I need to bring the light up some. Actually, I wouldn't leave it that way. Okay. And then I would say I want to darken this value right here, but here's the thing. I'm going to bring some light into it. When it does, this is going to appear darker than it is. Okay? Yes, constructive criticism is so important. Unfortunately, the internet encourages drive-by critiques. Yep, it's one of the very hard things, because there are a lot of people, including myself, who really want to help people, but we only have a finite amount of time. And especially the people with, I think, a large number of followers. Like right now, I don't have that. So y'all can send me your work, and I'll be able to critique it for the most part. But the problem still remains that you need constant critiques. You need constant critiques. I needed constant critiques, like every day. Every day you needed a critique. I'm going to bring the light up. Wait a second. Bringing the light up. You need constant critiques, right? So I'm just stepping back. Y'all can't see me. I'm all the way back here. I'm stepping. In fact, I am stepping back. I'll tell you how far I am. I'm about 12 feet back. And I'm just looking at the picture as a whole. Just everything as a whole. Okay? That's not working right now. I can fix that. To me, it looks like two separate drawings. But I'm going to work on this a little bit more. And then I'll work on, oh my gosh, I knocked my thing over. All right, and then I'll work on that, okay? Light up, and when I do this, I'm looking over here really as I do this. I've saturated it a little bit more on my palette, so that when I paint on it, it blends in. It'll gray out some, and it should be a balanced color. Does that make sense? So I oversaturated a little bit on the palette, and it gives me a little bit more leadway at this stage to blend on the board. And when I blend, that high saturation will be reduced to to the proper value. That's how I work, and at this stage, maintain a healthy balance of color while trying to get the drawing and fixing all this stuff. That's how I do it. That's how the genius intellect works. Okay, so this is coming across here. Wait a second. So this, okay, so this is here, and then there's kind of a thing that comes this way. Let's see if we, all right, we're slowly. There's subtlety that's going on there that's turning this shoulder. My mind, as everybody's, has a tendency to be very lazy about it and just take the shortest path to getting whatever effect I want. Sometimes it's worth taking the time, slowing down, and doing what is difficult to do and really observe what's happening, question what's happening, try to understand what's happening. This is going to come up maybe just a little bit. I'm going to bring this part up some. Too thin. I'm going to bring this up some. Bring this up just a little bit. Not much. Not much. It's kind of like doing something here, and then it kind of drops down. Lighten it a little bit. Add some color for saturation. Red in particular. Squint. Open my eyes back up. Go over this slightly. I'm not meaning to replace, I'm meaning just to blend it up just a little bit, that value, knowing that this is going to get lighter here. Right. This value right here, I might bring it up just a little bit, just a slight bit, because I think I'm bringing like some of the values around it up. All right. Step back. Does it make sense? What I can do too is shape this top part. Here's the thing. I like this coming up because it denotes pressure right here, right? Shoulders being pushed up. That's how you get that gesture to it. So the cloth is supposed to help accentuate the anatomy underneath. Oh my gosh. Hit this thing again. What the hell? Stay. Freaking paint box. All right. Be the cloth. Okay. Now, take this value here. In between, I know this is probably blurry, if y'all can see it, because I have it on manual focus. There, and I'm going to scoot down. I can just shape this area right here, come across here, maybe I can do, no. You know what, let me try something. I'm going to try something. This could screw this up big time. I hurt myself doing rolls for a video that I'm working on. It was a short, and I got the shot, and then I realized that I didn't have the camera vertical, so I have to do it over. Oh, take a risk. Take a risk. Thank you, Clara. That actually looks okay to me. It's kind of working some. It's kind of thin there, thin that out. Let's bring this over some. I don't know. Wait, I have an idea. If I bring this, wait, I lost my brush. Okay, wait. Taking this brush, and then, like, this is too thin, but it breaks a little bit higher. Wait, does it though? Is this gonna ruin it if I bring it over just a little bit? And then this edge is gonna be very soft, and then it kind of comes in. Let's see if that works from back there. Kind of, but this needs to, this is too sharp. So I'm not like worrying so much about like, I'm not gonna spend my time refining this right now. I'm just gonna try to get it in the ballpark. Okay, see how that looks. It needs to flow with it. I'm not sure that this is working. This looks kind of stupid to me. Let me bring that in some, but I'm going to use the darker value and then bring it up one more. Oh, wait. Let's construct. Yeah, and unasked for critique isn't helpful when you are trying to stay motivated to do art. Let's take a risk. So much mystery around your next upcoming videos. I'm super curious. Yeah, I'm kind of, hopefully I'm not like over-promising. I'll say the format of this one was different. So I had to, like, I have a lot to improve on. It's a little bit different than what I've done recently. But I was thinking of y'all's feedback of what's helpful. And I think this will be super helpful. I think this is going to be a super helpful video. Now, I don't know if it's, I don't know. I'll be curious to know what you think of it. And there is humor in it. There is humor. All right, that doesn't look good. Let me go back into it. Okay, and here's the other thing. Like, I'm running the risk, haven't done it yet, of falling in the trap of working in one area and like that's it. See, what I don't like about this needs to flow down, but this is like separate, it's too square-like. Let me, I'm gonna work this up a little bit more and get this, and then I'll come back to that. Sometimes, if you aren't sure what's going on, you can't see it, and you're kind of going back and forth with something, go to some other part in the painting, work on it, and then come back, and you might be able to have an idea of what to do then, because maybe working here changed how you see this, right? Or maybe your eye needed a rest and needed a break, and you're back, and you're like, okay, now I know what to do. This kind of comes up some. Okay, and then take this, bring this down just a little. This might be too dark, which it is, but it's going to get lighter because I'm going to blend it in just a little bit there. And then I can still bring the value up. Wait. Bring this up. This part needs to come up just a little bit more than I have it. And this is actually darker here, so I'm going to go darken this slight bit. You need to keep on swinging down because this could be over modeled fast. Go in with kind of this value here. Bring this value up. Also at the same time, kind of pushing the paint up a little bit with it. And then this kind of comes in that way. So it's going to be lighter. So I'm going to squint. There's a shape here. And then it's kind of like, okay, there's like a shape here going around that side. And then there's a shape here. And then there's just a shape. It kind of comes up, but then it's going down the upper part of the tricep area. There. Kind of swings like that, and then you have another. Okay, let's step back and see how that looks. So that's, look, not great technique, but we'll get great technique with it. We'll get it. We'll get it. 1, 2, 3 here. This is going to be a little dark value kind of in between there, separating these two. Lighten this. This part comes up some. Let's put a little bit of white here. I'm looking at this whole shape as I do this. It's going to run the risk of being a little bit over modeled, but as long as we keep that in mind by looking at the whole shape, we can fix that. We can fix that by planning to fix for it. We take that into account. There's a lot of things that you have to keep in mind when you're painting. Don't be discouraged if you can't do this at first. It's a constant battle. I don't care how far along you are. There are people who are trained to start getting piecemeal again. It's totally normal. The important thing is to keep your head in and try to keep your mind from getting lazy. And it's going to get lazy. Don't let that discourage you. Just keep on going ahead and trying to keep all these things in mind. You'll get good at juggling. Hey, sorry, I had to run, but I'm back now. Did I miss something good? Yeah, you missed a lot of good stuff, Laura. How could you do? I was just been rambling for the last, for a while. Just Lou sharing more spoilers on his long expected video and talking about comparative measurement. Spoils, yeah, just basically all I said was it's a different type of video, still working on it. This is really not working right there. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be good. I didn't say really what I did. I mean, it's coming out tomorrow. Hopefully you like it. It's just different. It's like a learning experience. Different. I wasn't sure of the format, what I would do. And so when I was editing it, I went through and said, okay, I got all this stuff. Oh, well, maybe I should change it up this way. Maybe I should do that. Now, within the same Premiere file, I have what is the equivalent probably of 3 videos. But I don't have the intros or outros to the second 2. I have this one pretty much done, but I'm working with some music. I was gonna release it today, but I said, well, the music, I could either just be like, okay, I release on Thursdays and I need to get, or I can actually make sure it's good, and because it's gonna be out forever. But I just okay. There. Is that too dark? I don't think it is, but I just need to work on the drawing here. Coming around here. Okay. Let's finally work on this. This part is coming here. And then this part is, I don't know what the hell I was thinking with this. Liz, can you explain this? I have many leather-bound books and an ivory magnifying glass. I've been to Prague. Just saying that I'm high class and better than pretty much everybody watching this. And I know what I'm doing. You should watch this channel. I'm very competent and very cultured, very intelligent, intellectual. Yeah, I'm very smart and I know what I'm doing and I'm better than you. That's essentially what that means. Right? So essentially that is what it means. I mean, isn't that what art's about? I mean, people are supposed to sound very intelligent when they talk about it and use big words and really pause at the right moment, being very, thoughtful. And there's a lot going through my mind. How do I explain it to these lesser creatures? I just need to. I'll think, yeah, I'm making fun of it. All right. This piece coming up here. Let's work on the technique some, building the value up, bringing the light values up. All right, that's looking very fake and plasticky. So we're gonna go back into it. And this kind of comes here. I'm gonna bring this light up, this light value up some. Work it in with the background that I painted. A little bit across this part right here. Slight value to make it turn. Step back. Slightly better, but not what I want. This down some. This needs to come up. Experiment with doing sharper brush strokes as opposed to softer ones, since I'm losing form when I step back. So instead of blending, I'm just going to put brush strokes down, try to get the right value. Always step back to see the whole shape. Carve this shape up. This area gets a little darker there. Underpainting is playing tricks on me. what happened to my phone. It just made a noise. This went out. No, it's back. Did we lose the stream? Okay, back to painting. This is going to be too dark, but I'm going to blend it in. Actually, no, it's not. This actually is okay for what I was going for, but it's a little bit sharper. It cuts in a little bit more. Try to get these subtle shapes here, and I guarantee you those subtle shapes will take care of you. Let's darken this part just a little bit. It's going to need to get darker than that to turn into the arm. There's right here and here. Step back. All right, and then let's do this. I'm going to give this a slight, this is too dark here probably, but I'm going to try to mix it in with this paint up top here. All right, we got that. Let's bring the value up some, up. Take this. This value would be too light normally, but blending in with this bottom part. Like I said, I'm more concerned with the value than I am with the color right now. And then let's go across the form like this because that always works. It did gray it out some, but that's okay. Still needs to be lighter. Take this brush here. I'm going to lighten this brush and actually come into it from the top side, see if I can do anything. Okay, wait, let's just go back into it like this. There we go. That's working. Flip the brush because it was getting dirty. Squint down a little bit so I see right here. It prevents me from getting piecemeal, which today I've kind of been fighting. So excited, very intellectuant. Intellectuant. Yes, art is about letting others know you are cultured. Love to see Prague. Great beer and amazing central cemetery. When I was there, it was very cheap as well. And so you could get like great prices on everything. It was absolutely freaking amazing. It was a really great experience. And my uncle, who traveled a lot for work, would always go, and when I was studying, he would meet me in Florence. And one of those trips we went to Prague, and it was one of the most fun times that I had. It's a very medieval-esque city. It's really cool. Really cool. All right, so I need it. If y'all remember, I brought this piece up some, but I did not fix this drawing here. So there were two separate drawings. One fixed, the other, now I need to bring this up to compensate for that. Right. Now this session is kind of weird, right? Because I am making up a lot of stuff, but I need to make sure that this works. Here. And then let's do this. This is going to help. This is going to help this part right here. This, I know this is not well painted, but I'm essentially had to redraw everything. And sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you have to take a step back from things and redraw. It's the name of the game. Name of the freaking game. Whoops. That was a horrible brush stroke. Okay. As was that. Damn. I butchered that. See, sometimes it happens, you know? Sometimes you don't paint like you know you can paint. And sometimes you just cheat. All right. Yes, you know, I love going to cemeteries. I've never been to Prague. You're right. You're better than me. Damn right I am, Clara. Keep that in your head. All right. I did look up that cemetery, though, and it looks really cool. It looks very ancient, and I bet has some neat history behind it. It sure does. My stream pause? I think it did. Yeah. What's going on? Huh. Where am I? Why is it pausing like it is? Okay, we're not that far behind now, I don't think. Hopefully it's going to start feeding here in a second. Yeah, I don't know if y'all can hear me. Stream health. So this stream is healthy. So you should start getting a... Yeah, now the yellow bar comes across. The one before. I don't know if y'all can hear anything I'm saying. I don't think you can. I mean, I suppose I can turn this volume up. Can y'all hear me? A lot of horror. I know there's no picture going on right now. A lot of horror films go to that image. I need to look this up. It's full of dead people, which means they won. They won before you. We are women's, therefore better by design. We are. The internet gods were unhappy with you calling yourself better than me. You've been punished. That makes sense. That has a very similar look to it. I'm aware of the technical, I don't know if y'all can hear me, failure. LOL. Way to go, Pete. You know, it says it's freaking streaming. It says the stream is healthy. I don't know why. Oh, wait a second. It was paused on mine. So y'all have been watching me do this, right? But it's actually like moving around. It's fine now. There you go. Okay. I had to unpause it. It auto paused for some reason. And I thought it was still stuck. When it was saying it was like healthy on this, I was like, it's not healthy, it's stuck. Then I press play. All right. Okay. Think. This is actually looking okay, but let's work on this. I said that I would come back to this. I said that I would come back to this part. I said that I would come back to it. That's what I'm going to do. So this is something right here. It's up here. You can make this look. If I cover this, that makes more sense than this. This drawing up top is holding it back. That's a very important lesson. Sometimes, this isn't great. I'm not saying this is great, but sometimes you're working on this area when you should, if you want to really make it look better, it's going to be up top. That's what's bothering me. And that is the case with this. There's a little bit more variation going on up there. So let's just touch on that just a little bit here. And again, it is worth taking the time to really study what's happening in the form. What is happening in the form? What's going on in the form? This is very important stuff. Well, I can tell you right now, this is going to be softer. Let's light these up some. So it comes down, we'll soften that. Is that overmodeled? Yes, just a little bit. This isn't working. Fix that though. We can fix it. How do we know it's over-modeled? We look at the whole thing and we compare. You can do that with values, you can do it with proportions. Always compare, always. Train your mind to think about what you're doing. If you're having a hard time, you see how quickly I'm moving on? Am I doing this? Am I going quick? Saying, oh, because I'm moving my brush fast, it's gonna get done quicker. No. Actually go slower. Move your brush slower, you're gonna get done quicker. You're gonna observe what you're doing wrong. Daniel Graves, I remember him specifically telling me that. He taught me that move, and it changed the way that I painted. That man is a brilliant, brilliant man. He's a very good teacher. Brilliant. You want to know another technique for not getting, hey, do y'all have a hard time? Sometimes do you overmodel stuff? I'll show you a technique that will prevent you from doing that. You want to see it? Instead of painting like this, paint like this. Turn the brush. Don't do this. Do this. Like that. And paint. And it's going to help you. It's going to help you to not overmodel. All right? That's what it's going to help with. You see that? I'm telling you, it works. It's hard. It's very hard to do. Like this. Don't do this. Don't do this. Do this. Turn your hand. I promise it'll help. I'm not going to do that right now because I still need to get the drawing with this stuff. But it's an excellent, if y'all have a hard time, if you overmodel, it's a great way of going about it. All right, so I'm squinting down. I'm looking at this whole thing as I'm doing this, the entire thing. I'm working in this area. Do not be deceived. I'm looking at the entire shape. Freaking entire shape. All right, this, and then we had this piece here. Give me a sec. Okay, so wait. I need to think. Got this piece. And there's another piece. This part is actually coming up here. And then it's kind of like there's another piece here. Yes, and I have a map that say you are here written all over it. Hey, Pete, about the dead, they beat us to the stops. It's like, yeah, we all want to be dead right now, don't we? Indeed, they made it to the end. I can truly say an existentialist is just bad jokes. How does holding the brush like that help? There's no way I can hold a brush like that for watercolor and get good results. But I'll try. I don't know about watercolor. I'm talking about. It's hard to do on small work, but on like bigger paintings like this, it's hard to do in small areas with a big brush. But the idea is when we work, we tend to go through and sculpt everything and mesh it in and it becomes smooth. And so then when we step back here, it doesn't work. It's too smooth. There's no form to it. No form. That means it's missing subtle planes, which consists of each plane is a shape, a value, and a color, right? It's a specific shape, a specific shade of light, and a specific color. Those can be denoted with brush strokes. So it's important to have a whole brush stroke. turning your hand like this and placing it on the page will prevent you from going through and working it in. And you'll have to really focus because it's hard to do. You'll have to focus on placing it right and just pulling it off the right way. And in doing that, you step back and you'll notice that your brush work, you'll see brush strokes. That will loosen you up. And then you can go back into it straight up and paint. That's the idea behind it. It does work. But you need to have the right size brush, and it needs to be working on a large enough section. Okay? It's very hard to do. Bye, Clara. Yeah, we're about to end this actually. It's 1:30. I'm just going to paint just a little longer, and then I'm going to go reference material. That's why it isn't easy. Wait a second, Lewis. You are improving your reference material. That's why it isn't easy or quick. That's why it isn't easy or quick. I can hold a brush like that. I gotta go. Thank you for the stream, by the way. Thank you, Claire. What do you mean by that, Randall? Like, what? How did I like? What are you saying that maybe I'm just not hearing it right? It sounds like a really nice compliment. I just don't know what you're talking about. Reference material. Like, what is that? Reference material. This comes up. That's kind of working. The form's coming. This is a little bit sharp right there, but that's kind of how it looks there, and that's okay. All right, let's go back up to here. I said I was going to work up in here, and I kind of got distracted. I can go in with the dark. Now, I don't want to separate this and make it look like one drawing, two drawing. So I'm going to put this dark in. I might actually bring the light up with it. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. This piece is coming here. See, we have all these darks here, but we don't have as much here. It's going to be lighter. And then this part right here. Maybe I should have another piece. No, I'm not going to do another piece. I'm going to keep this here. Squint. Got to squint. You got to see the whole thing. Whole thing. And this comes down. This is okay. I can make that work. This part's kind of looping up like that. Maybe I should make it loop there. No, that's not smart. I shouldn't do this. This is going to drop down below it. This part right here is kind of doing this, and then maybe I could just make it kind of come down here like that. See how that looks? Soften this bottom edge some. Okay, but then there's a dark space there that I don't like. Ooh, maybe I can bring up a little bit of light. I'm going to get my darker brush here, looking in this value range. I'm going to squint down, and then maybe I can do something here. Kind of imply something coming up through there. And I can always lighten the dark there, add some color to it to kind of unify everything. So that might need to happen. All right, this part right here, I'm going to actually paint through because this is actually what I meant to do before. I should have done this in the very beginning, is unify this part right here. Squint down, just unify that shape. That's looking a little bit better. I don't like this part right here. That's not working at all. The photo you are working from. Oh, that one, that reference. It's not a good reference, man. That's the problem. I don't really have a good reference for this painting. That's one of the problems I'm having with it. It's not really a problem. I can get past this. I know what to do, but I'm not, like, these folds obviously aren't on that right there. If they were, I'd actually be much quicker. I'm trying to improve the folds on them. I'm trying to freaking improve. So we're going with the form now. Let's go across it. Turn it up some. And then there we go. Step back. That's looking okay. Kind of graded out some, but I kind of like that. That's actually how it looks in real life. And let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. We have this piece. I need to somehow connect this part right here. How was it connected there? I don't know. Maybe I just don't worry about it as much. And this, and then I think I kind of like how it is fading. Maybe I'll just fade it down into the darkness there. Flip the brush. This is going to be lighter here. Working on the other side of the brush. And then let's go with the form here. I kind of messed the drawing up some. That's okay. Step back. Reapply paint. And we'll fix that up some. fix this part up some. There we go. Let's bring a little bit of a light into here, actually. There we go. I'm looking at this whole piece, thinking, how is this gonna like look? Okay, that's looking okay. That's looking okay. Now we have to keep in mind, we have all these varying pieces of lights and darks, but you also have to keep in mind the overall turn of how you want it to look. Normally, if there's going to be light, it's going to be light here, then a mid-tone, and then it might get a little bit darker here, especially as it falls down here. I don't mind having that. At the same time, you want to think compositionally. Does it look good from back there? Does it look good being dark? Should I add more color? What should I do? I think I need to add a little bit more color. I don't mind accentuating some darks in the folds as long as I make those darks colorful by adding very deep red to them. Let's do that right now. I'm going to go very, like, kind of more red than I think I need to go. I'm using alizarin crimson and cadmium red. I'm going to get just a touch of walnut oil and step back. Kind of making this up. And then just go into it. Just go into it. It will help some. And let's do that here, because this has really been bothering me, this part right here. Okay, let's turn it so it gets to the other side. Red, squint down. It'll give me a hint of how it's going to look back here. It's actually looking a little bit better to my eye. And then up top here, actually, okay, this is going to be too dark, but that's okay. I'm going to bring the light up into it. That's what I know. That's too dark. I'm just pushing this down, and I'll come back in with the light. I just want it to fade down, which is what I do. So I'm going to go with this value here. So this is my next darkest brush, which I can push it down to there if I want to. I'm going to add just a hint of alizarin crimson, just a little bit of cadmium red, mix it in. Step back, go up, slow strokes, squint, and just kind of bring the light up. This is going to be the shadow, so I'm actually going to come up what I've already done. And then you're going to fade it down, understanding that this paint underneath is already wet. Boom. And then I can bring that light up again, because that shadow obviously is too light. I knew it would be too light. I knew it! Alright, so then we have this, and then there's, you know, maybe I should put the reference photo up next time that I'm working from. Just I didn't know what I was going to be working from. That's the problem. There, and then it kind of comes up. There's kind of two prongs. One. It's two-pronged. And two. Do that, and then flip the brush. Bring it up from this side. There we go. It's looking a little bit better. It's a nice little move. Sweet move. Do it here. Let's bring this down some. What we could do too, honestly, if I wanted to, I don't want to. I could soften this edge. It would really make this pop, but I'm not going to do that yet. Photo you were working for. Yeah, I'll get the reference photo for you. We'll do that next time. I'll put up what I was working on if I go through with this. I had it before, and I kind of cleansed the stream last when I programmed like a bunch of the work, because I wasn't sure if I'd be working on this. I'm going to have to hammer down on this drawing. May have to start over. Not sure yet. Now would be a good time to start over. But whatever you do, don't. You have to get it done. Don't overthink it, Pete. Yeah. Guys, I'm going to end the stream right now because it's been about 2 hours, and I do appreciate it. Louder's stream is, I think, what, tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Clara, she actually streams tonight at 7 o'clock on Instagram, I think. I missed it last week. It's very hard for me to get all these streams with my workload, but I am doing my best because I love the group and I want to support everybody because y'all support me so much. But yeah, so Claire tonight at 7 o'clock on Instagram, and Laura is tomorrow at 11 o'clock on YouTube. So guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Gosh, it's like, which camera? Thank you so much for watching, and y'all have a very nice weekend. And if you want any critiques on your work, just send it to me. All right? If you want it in the next video too, send it to me and I'll do a grill critique on it, okay? Because I'm going to be doing that. Potentially, if y'all like this video, we'll see. I'm going to put one out tomorrow, so watch out for it. All right? You guys, y'all take care.